Yo. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going?
Yo.
Hello, hello.
What's going, buddy? How are you?
Oh, wait, you can hear me? You can hear me?
Can you
Hello?
can you not hear me?
No, I can. But you can hear me, though? You said you couldn't hear me.
I can hear myself loud too, man.
What? Dude, turn the stream off. Like, turn the stream audio off. Shouldn't be able to hear yourself. Are you watching the stream? Mute it. Mute the stream and then unmute me in Discord because you have me muted from Halo yesterday. I 100% guarantee it. I can see my thing going off in Discord. Like I can see the voice chat is picking it up.
Hi.
Hello, hello. I can hear you fine. I know your mic's working fine. I know you muted your audio for me in Discord yesterday. And I guarantee it's still muted. And you just have to unmute it.
What the fuck?
The audio, not my microphone. The microphone is you. There's a speaker in our Discord chat. You need to click on that, which is the audio for me. First guy, first.
Dude, I still can't hear you.
Send a picture. If that doesn't work. All right, hold on, guys. We have a little technical difficulty. Get this going first.
Yo.
Yo.
There we go.
Hey. Also, do you mind scooching over a little bit to your... I guess it's going to be your left? No, other way. All right.
Better?
We solved it. Yeah, that's perfect. Well, you tell me, man. You can hear me now?
Oh yeah, bud.
You
were playing through my monitor at one point, and I was like, why the fuck is he playing through my monitor? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It's Discord.
But now I can hear you.
There you go, yeah.
I got you, buddy. I got ya.
Bad.
Yeah, what's up, dude? Bud, what's up, bud?
Watched a few trailers today. There was a lot of trailers to watch. And I played a little bit of video games today. And that worked. What about you?
I worked and then I ran home so that we could do this, man. I was excited to talk about some stuff this week. Another kind of light news week, but like still some stuff I think that we're pretty excited about that we're going to get into a little bit later. But yeah, for those of you that are not Devyn and myself, welcome to our podcast / Twitch show on Thursdays at 9 o'clock. It's called Or It's Free. It's our weekly gaming show here live on Twitch. You can check us out every Thursday at 9 p.m. Like I said, on twitch.tv/thesliceto, and the following day on all streaming platforms. You can also check us out on Twitch.
Interrupt you again.
Did you just say boom?
No.
What's up?
Boom. We're also on the radio. No. Center yourself on the side of your camera, dude. Because face is other way. Your face is half cut off, dude. You want to go like away from your Mass Effect helmet, like roll away, so you're literally like sit comfortably, like you don't have to lean that way. There you go, dude. That's all. You just gotta roll like over. Perfect. Now you're perfect. You're doing your intro and like hits like half your face, and I'm like, yo, there you go. I want to see your whole beard, dude.
It's the important half of my face, dude. That's okay. Well, we're gonna kick it off again. Okay, we're gonna do a hard reset here, and we're gonna just I'm gonna chop the entire intro, and then this is gonna go up live on the podcast tomorrow. So,
One will
Devyn,
be
hello.
professional. Hello, hello.
What's up?
Much?
Nice.
So I took a sip of coffee a sick sip of coffee right as you asked me that. Yeah, not much. I just got home from work and I played
Some
yeah,
videos.
what about you? So I guess I should ask you. What about you? What did you do today?
You totally cut off there for a second as you explained. You're like, I played some vit, and then it just cut off. I just got home, and I was excited to start Or It's Free, our weekly gaming show here on Twitch TV.
I watched a lot of trailers, and we texted a bit about them. We were like, yeah, let's talk about those today. Which we actually did a good thing. Usually we're pretty bad about like, hey, let's talk about this thing, and then we just like talk about it immediately, and then we're like, yeah, we should wait. And like we did a good job. Like, hey, let's talk about these things. I didn't really say much, so I'll have time to explore.
Yeah. I feel like we've had so many of these. I feel like we've had so many of these moments where we've had like a good discussion offline, and then we get on here and we're like, yeah, we already said everything that we had to say, and now how do we like?
Or just feels weird telling someone something you've already told them, like, or like trying to justify an argument you've already. They're like, yeah, like, dude, I fucking know how you feel about that thing, but you know, you still got to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah, man.
What happened this week? I know it was a little bit slow. We did talk about that. It was slow, but we found some stuff to talk about.
We did, yeah. I'm gonna do our intro here though quickly, just so that everybody gets to know us and everything about us. So this is Or It's Free. It's our weekly gaming show. A gaming show here live on Twitch with myself, Dan, and Devyn, who's Dr. Ice / Dr. 1CE. You can check us out every Thursday at 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/thesliceto, and the following day on all streaming platforms. You can also check us out on twitch.tv/thesliceto, where we're going to be streaming throughout the week as well, which we did yesterday and we did on Sunday as well.
Yeah, give us a follow social media. So you get them notifications about us streaming because we do it randomly.
Yeah, dude. And yesterday was a thrill. We played some custom games in Halo Infinite with some buddies of the show. Funny. Yeah, there's some good stuff on there. You can check it out if you want to watch. It's probably 3 hours, maybe 4 hours long yesterday. It's on our page right now, so you can go back and watch that on demand on twitch.tv/thesliceto. For our social media, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at thesliceto, and myself at do_XCI and at Dr_1CE on Twitter. I think we're both on an Instagram thing right now, right? We're not on Instagram right now?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a right now. I think it's probably I never really was a big user anyway, and I just was like, whatever, fuck it, I'm done. I don't think I'm going back. It's just I'm done with that. I don't take pictures that often of things I want to show people. And if I do, I just show my phone. I'm like, look at this thing I took a picture of. That's all I need.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I didn't really... Hey, man, that's the point of photos. So, yeah, maybe we're off it permanently. Who knows? We'll see. We'll be posting some content between episodes on at @thesliceto on Instagram. So you can still check us out there for photos that Devyn is not personally sharing.
You know what? Maybe I'll have to make a comeback. I forgot the slices on there. Okay. Maybe.
Oh yeah, bud.
Maybe the doc's gonna come back to the gram. We'll see.
The docs and the doxy.
I'll make that announcement on one of the podcasts. Doc's coming back,
and then you can take some live photos while we're actually posting to the Instagram page.
Totally.
We'll also have some guests from time to time who are going to join us for some debates, some streams, and some other fun stuff every Sunday. At some point in the near future, we'll start doing this, but every Sunday we're going to post up a streaming schedule for the week where we'll do some streaming and we'll be playing some stuff with friends and stuff like what we did yesterday with Halo Infinite. So yeah, check us out, follow us, like Devyn said, give us a follow, check us out on Thursdays. We're excited to have anybody listening to us rant about video games. Fucking Nintendo, am I right?
Yeah, we'll make that.
We haven't done that this year yet.
Yeah. I gotta get some soundboard stuff for us. So yeah, we can.
We have yet to have a fucking Nintendo moment this year.
Well, speaking of fucking Nintendo, they actually did our first kind of topic. I guess it's kind of centered around them mostly. It's two trailers from them, or 2 series from them. that were not like disappointing. They were pretty damn good, I would say, which were the Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. Right? I
Yeah.
got that right, yeah. And Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I gotta say, I don't know how you feel about this, Dan. My quick little spiel on it is I was really like cautiously optimistic about that game, and like I gotta say I'm pretty optimistic about it overall now. Like I think I might get it day one. I was almost gonna wait for stuff, but like it looks damn good. I think.
You were pretty skeptical, man. Like quite honestly, every time I've talked to you, you've been pretty skeptical about it, and not in like a bad way. I think you're like you want to be optimistic. Like we want this game to be great, but
Yeah.
it's a pretty big departure from the Pokemon format.
Exactly. Like that's my thing is like I just don't think the pedigree is there for it's like they make really good Pokemon games, but it's like this is like it's Pokemon, but it is like pretty different for them, especially on a technical level. Like it's way more than they've ever done before. So like I just wasn't confident that they could pull it off, and it honestly seems like they might have done it. Like it looks pretty like yeah, it's either a really well put together trailer that's making it look better, or that game's yeah.
You're just to give you a heads up. Sorry, you're cutting away from your mic a little bit. I think it's seeing you as ambient noise, so you're cutting in and out.
It is, yeah. That's my bad. I gotta be a little bit more. I gotta learn to be. I gotta kiss my mic a bit more. Sorry. This is part of the problem. There we go. Is I have you on the wrong side of the screen, so now I can look at your beautiful face while I talk to you, and it will help me. Oh, you're drinking a Brio? What the fuck, dude? Ew! You can't do that on here. Oh. Dude, that's gross.
Do we not like Brio? Is that a problem?
No, dude. I remember the like pizza store near me used to have it all the time, and I never got it. And then one day I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna try that Brio thing," and like I just remember I almost puked. It was gross. And you drank that right in front of me, dude.
Love it, dude. It's so good with pizza or with any kind of like fried food. Truth be told, it's very good.
Maybe I'll have to try it again now that I'm an adult. But anyway, sorry. Pokemon.
It's bitter as hell, dude.
Like you.
Yeah, I'm super bitter. Ask Abby. I'm super negative, super bitter.
Shots fired.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't. Again, it was kind of a slow week. There was some news about.
Oh, the trailers, though, dude. What do you think about the trailers? The Pokemon trailer.
Yeah, they look good. I mean, it's. I was always excited for it. From kind of when it got announced, we talked about it a little bit with some others this week. That like, it's been a while since we really fully committed to a Pokemon game. It's probably been at least like 2 or 3 years, maybe even 4 years since I've like actually sunk my teeth into something. It might have been Pokemon Sun, I think, not even like Ultra Sun. And the formula just kind of is repetitive. I think Sun did a little bit to kind of throw it to just add something new to the mix. But this seems a lot more like up my alley. Like just kind of, I feel like there's a point in a lot of game series where if you just continue to follow the same steps that you've taken in the past, like that kind of soft reboot. I know this isn't a soft reboot, but like just something that's like very much outside of the regular, can be super enticing. It's kind of the same way I feel about the Final Fantasy game that's coming out in March 2, Stranger of Paradise. Like it's just kind of a nice palate cleanser from the formula that we've all grown really accustomed to. So yeah, I think it looks cool. It looks promising. It definitely looks a little bit more like detail oriented than it did in the first trailer that we saw last year. Like
this trailer had so much information. Like it was super detailed about a lot of different things.
Yeah, so it's good to see that, and obviously it's out in a couple weeks, so I think they're going to really start wanting to put things out in the press, and folks that are probably a little bit skeptical, especially after some of the backlash of the last Pokemon games, they're probably going to be pretty excited to kind of advertise this and just have potentially a new generation and some old generation that haven't played Pokemon in a while come back to it. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked, man. It's out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think there's a reason it has a subtitle. Like I think they wanted to, if it doesn't work out well, then they just don't do another one of them. But if it works well, then we get another Pokemon Legends Zapdos or something. Like we'll get some other kind of Pokemon Legends game. And they can keep that going. But I did see. I guess if we want to get into like a little bit of the trailer, I saw like some discussion about kind of the gameplay and kind of an interesting concept. I didn't pick it up when I first watched it, but like people kind of interesting to me.
You cut out again, dude.
Yeah, that was my bad. I looked away. so reading the comments about people analyzing kind of like what they saw in the trailer, specifically about the battles, that there was not a lot of transition between like free roaming and the battles. There wasn't like a you're in a battle now thing. Like the music just starts. Like everything is very free form, and like there's not a lot of text boxes that separate the battling. And even like when you get in a battle, the moments in the battle are all obviously like because it's turn based. Like it's just very slow. And this seemed like it had really really nice like action pacing to it. So if they can pull off like a Pokemon collection addicting feeling with like an action gameplay sort of feel, like I think it's going to be a really really unique cool like special game. But it's honestly, I'm with you. I'm almost going to like just pre-order it. Like I kind of really want to play it now. It looks sick.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm honestly really glad that you got an opportunity to like be excited for this game the way that I really was hoping you'd be. And we've only got a couple weeks to kind of see whether it's going to realize its potential. So I'm pretty stoked to play it.
Oh yeah.
And obviously we're going to be able to talk about it quite a bit when it does come out. And we can spend some time with it.
On reveal, like, and in concept, it's like it's money for sure. Like, it was like holy shit, they're doing it. Like, you know, it was like it's finally the game everyone wants them to make, and like now it kind of seems like, oh my god, it might actually be it. Like, it's got cool little quests and stuff. Like, it looks really fucking.
Yeah, man.
Oh, probably cut out again. My bad.
No, you're good.
Yeah. All right. Also, the Kirby trailer too. Did you watch the Kirby trailer? Also, pretty lengthy, detailed trailer.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I love the Kirby games. It's been a while since I've played one. Kirby's, what was it for the Wii? Epic Yarn, and then Epic Yarn for DS. Yeah. Those are such good games.
And Star Allies for Switch, like pretty good. Like it's
Never
very traditional, but it's very traditional Kirby game, but very good. Like it's, I don't know, it's just like a side-scrolling 3D, super easy but charming game, like all Kirby.
It's funny because I think lately there's been a lot of comparisons to Breath of the Wild for like any game that's open world, but like these are genuinely like the Breath of the Wildification of like every Nintendo franchise in some way.
So I don't know if you ever watch Arlo on YouTube?
Mm-mm.
He's so he's like very like Nintendo based. He's like a blue puppet, but he does like Nintendo analysis and stuff.
Okay.
So I watched the trailer, and I was actually watching one of his videos today, and he pointed out something about this game which you might find interesting. Is that it's actually not as Breath of the Wildy as we thought. So it looks like it in some of the video that they show, but then in the trailer they actually show a couple shots of you flying through areas with the warp star that actually are like level selects. Like you can see it's like a world map.
Nice. Okay.
It is going to be a bit more like a Mario 3D World-esque kind of game. So those are like kind of like little sandboxes, I guess, that you go into, which is also still exciting. But I was kind of like, oh, cool. Like it's not really like Breath of the Kirby. Like it is definitely more of like just a modern Kirby game. But like you said, like it definitely has like elements of it, and there's definitely like a crazy sense of scale. Like there's so many shots of like just little pink Kirby with these huge fucking like chasms near him. It looks pretty fun.
Kirby of the Wild is the official title. I'll give it.
Breath of the Kirby. Kirby of the
Breath
Wild.
of the Kirby.
Why isn't it Breath of the Kirby? He's just all he does is like suck on people. It's kind of like his thing.
What, he sucks on people. He sucks.
Yeah, in that game, his power is like, oh, what if he blew on people instead?
It's a way more phallic game, I feel like, that you're referencing here.
I meant like wind.
Kirby's not going out just like giving people like blowjobs and then absorbing their powers.
Dude, I mean like he could have like wind breath like Superman style. Like
I get it. It's just the way you said it doesn't sound. Though I would play that Kirby game. Anyways, yeah. I'm excited. I mean, I messaged you pretty quickly after I watched that trailer, being like, "Hey, man, we've been looking for a co-op game to play. Is this it? Like, is this the one that we're gonna sink our teeth into?"
I honestly didn't know a trailer came out. I just got that message out of context. It was just like Kirby March or Kirby like co-op, and I was like, "Okay, sure." Like, all right,
whatever fucking game you want, man. I don't even know what I'm playing.
Yeah. I like Kirby. I'm down.
Yeah, you realize when it comes to gaming messages, like I'm pretty nondescript. Like I'll just kind of throw a title out there and I'm like, yeah, and you're just like, yeah, fucking I'm down, dude.
Like, I got on my phone after I just started seeing like the Kirby trailers and I was like, oh, okay, like that's why he messaged me.
yeah, so I was pretty excited for it. Yeah, we've been looking at stuff to play co-op for the last little bit. So like anything that kind of comes up of interest now, I'm going to be pretty interested in. And I think there's not really a lull early this year because between, Pokemon is probably going to be a pretty meaty game.
Mm.
And then we've got Horizon's on the way a couple weeks later, fucking Elden Ring, Dying Light 2, Gran Turismo 7.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, like if we go through the release for the next month, like we're in January now, and you said we'd take it a month at a time, but like there's a good 6-week period where we're getting potentially like 100-hour plus game every week, which is a lot. And yeah. So there's no lulls this year, man, and there's no fucking, there's definitely no lulls or shortage of a backlog that we have to play through as well. I'm sure both of us have quite the backlog to get through. But yeah, man, I'm excited about that game. It'll be a day one pickup. Hopefully it reviews well. I'll probably wait until we get some reviews. Same with Pokemon, but both of them look very promising, and I think it's about time that Nintendo has some games like that are really just going to come out and come out swinging. I just forgot Triangle Strategy also comes out on March 4th, so there's just so many games coming out in the next little bit. Yeah, and man.
The only worry with Kirby is like they're always like stupidly easy games, so it's just like hope it's not stupidly easy.
I'll honestly take something easy. I've been playing a lot of more difficult games between Elden Ring and then playing Horizon on like a more difficult setting. There's going to be quite a bit of stuff that I think is challenging, so I wouldn't mind maybe something that's a little bit on the easier side that we can get through together just pretty easily. But we'll see. Yeah. We'll see how it pans out.
They usually have that thing where like the getting through the levels are pretty like easy, but then it's like collect these 3 things as well, and like if you get all of them in every level, then something else will happen. Like usually that will kind of make the game a bit more difficult, which is hopefully they'll have something like that.
Blow all these characters so that you can get their powers. Fucking Breath of the Kirby, fucking Nintendo, man. Yeah, so those two, and then anything else on the topic of Nintendo or any of the trailers that we saw this week? Because I think those are the 2 big ones.
Yeah, I think those were the most significant. I think there was, so I heard like talk about people thinking that there wasn't going to be a direct now because they just like released 2 big trailers, which was actually like funny enough in that Arlo video. That was something that he mentioned, and he actually said that. Last year, they actually did something very similar where they released a trailer for Bowser's Fury, which was actually, he said, was the exact same day that they released this Kirby trailer, and then followed it up with a direct shortly after that. So he was saying maybe this is a parallel to that. So maybe there is a direct coming, but people have been kind of clamoring for one. So hopefully that's a sign of, they have other big things to talk about and didn't have room to fit this. So we got some more news coming for the later half of the year.
It's funny because there's so much speculation about like state of plays and directs all the time, and they just tend to be so like inaccurate. I think overall.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes they get predicted. That's not fair.
They're just pipe dreams half the time. Like.
Yeah, man. Like remember that Nintendo event or the one last year where we were so fucking stoked and it just was like a colossal disappointment leaving it. Yeah. We were all like, "Fuck, man! It's been forever since we've had one." That was what we got. So hopefully nothing like that this time, but yeah, man, some good Nintendo stuff on the way. All short term. That's one thing I will appreciate about Nintendo is when they tend to go in depth and like actually give a lot more detail around gameplay mechanics or like just what to expect from the game. It tends to be pretty close to the release of the game, so there's not a lot of high anticipation that gets built up. Well, not high anticipation, but I feel like you get your hands on it much sooner. Whereas other games might do deep dives and then are still months out, or it might be a fall game or like 6-7 months out.
Like they can see the question marks around the game, so they're like, here's a 10-minute video about why you'll buy this. You're like, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're like, fuck, every single time, fucking Nintendo, man. You get me hooked in 3 weeks before the game comes out. Yeah. So yeah, let's hope we get a direct. That would be pretty awesome. It's been kind of quiet for a little while. The Video Game Awards didn't have really the bulk of announcements that I think we really were expecting and really wanted. So it'll be nice to get like a State of Play, Nintendo Direct, like something like that in the first little bit of the year. And I'm sure we will get some, or at least hear about them shortly. Cool. So that was our big thing, I guess, this week. There's some other stuff that we can talk about. So there was some speculation this week that kind of came out as a result of some PlayStation Now cards specifically being pulled in the UK, which I later learned that they were actually pulled in the US, just I guess more quietly recently as well. I mean, I think Canada has a deadline to pull them by the 21st as well. Sony did put out a statement, and I'm paraphrasing, but essentially that they were trying to streamline their PlayStation Now like currency, just to be like you can buy a PlayStation currency card and just use that toward PlayStation Now instead, so that there's no kind of distinction between the service and then just paying for it straight up. I call shenanigans a little bit. It seems like they talked about having some sort of like Game Pass-esque thing at some point in the past. And PlayStation Now seems like the natural launching pad to kind of get toward that, whether it's consolidating it with PlayStation Plus, whatever the case might be. But it led us to talk a little bit about kind of what speculation we had, and a lot of people have been talking about it lately. So I figured we could spend a little bit of time talking about that, maybe your hopes for what PlayStation Game Pass might look like, and also what the reality might look like in the near future. So what are your thoughts, Devyn? If there was a PlayStation Game Pass, what would you kind of like to see out of it? Or a Game Pass competitor, what would you like to see out of it?
Well, I mean, I think it would have to have some of the same features, I guess, that Game Pass has for like the Xbox Game Pass. So one thing I think would be probably a must for me would be like first party day one, like kind of are added like immediately kind of thing. Like get that library like immediately every time. I think that's a super cool benefit of Game Pass, and it's like one of the reasons that I use it is there's a lot of like games that I may have been on the fence about, and I just get to try them now, and like I definitely try them because they're on Game Pass, and I think Sony will definitely benefit from that. I think aside from like the day one support for first parties, it's kind of tough because I mean I guess Microsoft's got this kind of nice like rotating wheel of third party support, so they're just kind of constantly changing out games. I guess it would be nice. I don't know how they would consider like, well, Sony Santa Monica, I guess, would be a first party studio, right? Obviously, there's so sounds like all their like really really good games are like
it's in the fucking name. But
what about like Polyphony? Would they be considered like they're like second party, or are they third party?
I think they're second party. I think they're not owned by. Oh no, their parent is PlayStation Studios. They're owned by Sony.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, most of those like super good exclusives would already be on there. Hello, the Bear Jew. Yeah, most of those exclusives would already be on there. So I guess like other than that, like a decent price point to compete with them. They don't really have the PC side of things, so like if they implemented it on PC as well, like that would be cool. Like to have like, you know, PlayStation Plus Ultimate or whatever, where you could get God of War and Horizon and those kind of things on your PC as well, like because you already can. I mean, I guess those would be my two big things, I guess, as a PC player and a Game Pass owner. I would want those two things. So what about, I know you probably have a long list of wants from, I don't like actively play my PlayStation. I don't actually have a PlayStation Plus membership, so I don't know if I'm like the right person to ask what I would want, but like I definitely have things like that I would expect from it.
Mine's not a long list. I think there's things that make sense, and sometimes that can be a tall order for Sony, where like the things that make the most sense just don't end up coming to be. But what I'm really hoping for is you know, for current PlayStation Plus, if this happens, current PlayStation Plus owners are already like grandfathered into having access to whatever this is, or paying a small upgrade fee if there's like a more premium version or like a tiered system. The rumor that I think came out a little while ago is that like there's going to be 3 different tiers, and the third one was going to allow you to access PlayStation Portable and PlayStation 3 games or something to that effect.
Oh, cool. That would be awesome.
I'd have to pull up the details of it, but yeah, the idea is that you can download them.
Yeah, taking like a page out of Nintendo and Microsoft's book. That's kind of neat. I like that.
And I think, honestly, that's probably more realistic. I really don't, not that I don't care, obviously, like, for budget purposes, it would be amazing to have Sony first-party titles on that service, but I cannot see that happening just because they generate so much income for Sony right now, and, like, that's their bread and butter, and I think that...
But how many subscriptions would that generate, too, right?
It would probably generate a lot of subscriptions, but, like, in the same token, like... I don't know. You'd have to probably crunch the numbers on it, but like the way I look at it,
it's like it's something I want, but I kind of think you're right. Like I think Sony would not do it. Like I think they would have a trouble doing it.
Well, I think, and here's I think that if you have to do a little bit of a contrast here, and they're two companies that are in two very different places. But Game Pass, started and had the announcement of having first party titles before Microsoft's arsenal of studios is what they are right now. And I still maintain, yeah, and I still maintain that like we're probably going to see at some point in the next year or two a pretty significant either hike in Game Pass or some sort of tiered system, because I don't think it's like I don't know if it's going to be sustainable or not. I don't know. I don't know Microsoft's books, and obviously I don't have visibility to that. But I'm thinking about like the money that's going into games like Starfield, Halo, Forza, all of these games. If they're just going to go the streaming route and continuing to aggressively offer Game Pass, like I don't know if that's really going to be a sustainable model. And Sony's already in a position where they have so many established franchises that I don't think having them on a streaming service is going to make or break whether people are going to buy them. And it's kind of their strength. So I could see them like maybe having a system where like after 6 months, first party titles are on there. If in like the most premium tier, kind of like what Marvel Unlimited did with their comics, where like you had access to the backlog of first party, but after 6 months you'd get the newest issue of Amazing Spider-Man or whatever. I could see them doing something more similar to that, and I can't stress enough. I don't think Sony needs it as much as I think Microsoft needed to penetrate the market differently via Game Pass. I think Sony's in a pretty good space. We see numbers about like Ghost of Tsushima selling 8 million copies up until this point in time. I just don't. I don't think that putting it on a streaming platform on day one is going to change the demand for a game like that. And if you can charge more money for it, I don't know. You'd have to crunch the math on it. But the point is I just don't see that being the reality. At least at the beginning of it, at its inception. We'll see where that goes in the next couple of years. But
one thing that might help. I was thinking about what you were saying about Microsoft and the sustainability of their Game Pass and like how they keep it going. I think one thing that probably really helps them is like a lot of the games that they come out with are like service games, even their first party ones like Forza, Sea of Thieves. Like those are all games that even though you have Game Pass, like you still are going to be paying like money into, and they're hardcore players, and they probably have some whales and stuff that like those games probably generate a good amount of income for them because they're like services in themselves. So I'm sure that helps them. Like, but like you said, we don't know their books. Like maybe one day they'll be like, sorry, Game Pass has to go. You got to pay for our games.
I don't know of any. I mean, Halo probably generated a ton of money from cat ears.
Yeah, there's another service game like they're all like they're all their own little economies, and then Game Pass is also its own economy. So
yeah, and Sony really hasn't had that. Its first party titles tend to be first person action adventure games that have kind of a paid chunk of DLC.
Which and also another it would make sense for them that like they would have to do like you don't put the single player Spider-Man game on a service like that. It's like you buy that game full price because like you're not getting any more money from the person after they buy that game. It's like they buy it and that's it. So like you might as well get the $60-$70 out of them, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I that's where I think that's kind of where I go with it. My hopes though, outside of the reality, is I really hope that we have access to the PS3 catalog. There's been it's well documented that the cell processor made it really hard to emulate on PS3 titles to the point where PlayStation Now, even to this day, you can only stream PS3 titles. You can't download them locally because there's an incompatibility with the way that it's they were developed, and I guess however the back end. I don't know enough about game development and engines to speak to it, but the point is that PS3 games are not.
It's literally like it's think about like to like relate it to something we're familiar with is like it's just a different processor. Like think M1 versus Intel chip. Like it's just like the actual processor is just different, and people were just like, I don't know how to use this, and like that's really the problem. Was like it was just new. It was just something they made themselves.
Yeah, which sucks because I think there's tons of games in the PS3 era that I just never went back to because when I got my PS4, it wasn't backwards compatible or there was no easy way to play. And Ni no Kuni for a long time was that game for me. I didn't really have a way of going back to it.
Tekken Tag 2, I think, is one of them. You can only play. I don't think there's any other way to play that game.
Puppeteer is another game that I really wanted to play that Sony Japan Studio did, and I never played it. It just came out late into the PS3 life cycle, and PS4 was out, and I prioritized those games. So yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I expect, and my hope is tiered system, grandfather in. Maybe you pay a little bit more yearly if I've got a PlayStation Plus membership until 2022 or 2023 or 2024. I pay an extra $10 a year to get, you know, the premium tier or whatever the case might be.
Yeah,
Kind
like
of
Nintendo's
what
got, right?
Ultimate did. Yeah,
Nintendo's
or
got the
Nintendo's got.
expansion pack version or whatever.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. But yeah, I'm excited. The prospect of having a huge library of games on PlayStation, the same way that Xbox. I think that's where Xbox is absolutely just fucking dominated. Is the way that they've done, you know, game preservation and also just like accessibility to older games. Whether it's because they needed to rely on it because of a lack of first party. I think that's, you know, regardless of the fact, like they've just done such an amazing job with backwards compatibility. And I'm really hoping that Sony takes a page out of that book and is able to make some pretty substantial deals. I think the other thing to think about too is Microsoft already has partnership with EA Play. So is it going to include EA Play? Maybe. Is it going to include Ubi Plus, because that just got announced that it's coming to Xbox, not as part of Game Pass, but as a subscription. So it'll be interesting to see if Sony maybe makes a partnership with like Square Enix, and we see a host of Final Fantasy games all of a sudden all on that platform instead. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's pretty interesting. Like I think only good things can come from this, assuming that the model looks pretty similar to what Xbox has with Game Pass. So we'll see. I'm sure it won't be long. There's rumors, you know, speaking of rumors of state of play or of Nintendo, there's rumors that there's going to be a state of play at some point soon, either for, I mean, pick one, VR2, this service now, as a result of the rumors that we heard this week. Horizon is coming out in a little bit over a month, and Sony is notorious for having a state of play that precedes a big release. So in theory, we might see one on February 17th, and maybe we'll find out a little bit more, or maybe it's just a deep dive. But the point is that there's some stuff upcoming. I'm sure it won't be long before we hear about some of the stuff that we're speculating on right now. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, let's see if we get any. Right.
Yeah, man. Hopefully soon. So those are the two big ones. The last thing that we wanted to talk about was, do you want to kind of bring it up and we can riff back and forth?
Sure, yeah. I'm gonna pull up the article on it because I got to see exactly how much it was. But Take-Two, the parent company, Take-Two Interactive, they made a really, really big purchase, which was the biggest purchase in, I think, biggest video game purchase or biggest purchase.
Really?
Yeah, it was like the biggest.
Even more than Bethesda?
Yeah, I believe so. Let's find out here.
Okay.
Can we pop this into? Good. Okay.
Yeah. What's up?
So.
Ooh, graphics.
Oh, you're frozen though, dude.
That was sick. Am I? Oh yeah, I am on the. Oh fuck, I'm frozen.
Here we go.
Yeah, bud.
No, you're good now. You're good. I unfroze you.
Nice. Thanks.
Okay. Oh, a key mobile release from Activision Blizzard noted. What the hell? Oh, let's get a better Yahoo Finance. Nope.
Finance.
Here, you know where I originally saw it was here. So much for cool graphics.
Hey man, we had them for a few minutes. That made me happy.
Oh, we gotta go back to the other screen after.
You ever had?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here, you know what I had to do? We're gonna have to search through all their news. We could technically. Well, I don't want to watch that. Fuck it. Oh yeah, I'm getting close. I remember reading through these. I got to it and I was like, oh yeah, how did I forget about that? That was like pretty Oh man, this Lego set. Did you see the Wendy's tweet? Oh
yeah, man, they fucking roasted them.
Dude. Holy, they walked right into that one.
Apparently Wendy's like they roast a lot of companies on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like they just that's awesome. Good for
them. Their PR
them.
person is just jokes.
Just fucking knows how to roast.
There we go. Structoid. Okay, Take-Two acquires Zynga. $12.7 billion deal. That's the headline we wanted to talk about.
$12.7 billion. Jesus Christ, man. No kidding,
Eye-watering
it's
sum.
staggering.
So they got Rockstar, 2K, and all respective subsidiaries, brands, and IPs. Purchased all remaining Zynga shares. They still got Farmville, Merge Dragons, and several licensed features. Key brands such as Tony Hawk, Harry Potter, and Tomb Raider. What is
The
Zynga
mobile
make?
version specifically, I think.
There's a mobile Tony Hawk game?
There must be. Or
I'll
maybe they
try
just own the
that.
rights to it. Oh no, licensed titles featuring brands as Tony Hawk. Yeah, maybe we have to look into it a little bit more.
So where did I see that this was like the largest video game acquisition? I don't know. Maybe that was okay. That was just a lie out of my mouth.
I think it is, man. Like, I don't know of a number off the top of my head that would be a bigger acquisition, right?
Let's see. Largest video game act in history. I spelled that wrong. Too many S's. Dude, it was that one. Take-Two and Zynga. Tencent buying Supercell for 9.2 was before. Microsoft buying Bethesda.
Supercell, wow.
Microsoft buying Bethesda was third, and Activision buying King was fourth. ByteDance and Moonton, I don't know about that one.
Both Chinese companies, it looks like.
Yeah. Microsoft and Mojang. Damn.
Facebook Oculus was $2 billion at one point. Damn.
Look at that.
The last 5 years, it's been crazy, man.
Zynga buying this company.
Peak, 1.8 billion.
And now they're the top. They're getting purchased 2 years later even. Holy shit. That's wild.
Probably like a year and a half more realistically. Like, it's so early into the year. That's
So,
crazy.
Why Take-Two would want Zynga, I guess, is they're just like a mobile powerhouse, right? Like, I don't really know what what are they into these days. It said they're still like doing Farmville.
Yeah, I think they're just super focused on mobile. If you do a quick search, social game developer, yeah. So they focus on social and mobile games. Yeah. What's their most recent title? Like
Golf Rivals Starlark.
I've never played any of these games.
Yeah. These are just regular card games. Dragon Academy, I think I've actually heard of. Clumsy Ninja, CSR Racing. That game I know of.
But like, where is the $12 billion in this? Like, I don't.
Well, I guess like the games. This is like, oh, this is a price. Draw something like, so a lot of them are just services. So I guess these are just like, they're all revenue generators, right? So I guess it all just adds up.
Well, go down there. Actually, there's a price of something $1.8 billion. Toy Blast. Yeah, so I guess it's hidden in there, right? 525 million there. Yeah, Jesus,
revenue
man.
is acquired via direct credit card payments and partner businesses. Sells in-game virtual goods. Banner advertising. That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a lot of money. Damn.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a little bit scary, I guess. Like, well, I mean, Take-Two's already just massive. I have a feeling like that doesn't really like change much for Zynga. Like, I think they're just gonna operate it like the same way they do now.
This is unrelated to gaming, but I was reading about there was a story quite a while ago that Fanatics had acquired, I think it was exclusive rights to MLB cards.
Oh yeah, okay.
A license that like Topps has had for like 70-something years now.
I remember this, yeah.
And apparently, like, the whole idea was that Fanatics had offered to buy Topps to acquire that license at one point in time. And Topps was like, no. And so then they kind of went and backdoored with MLB. And then after they had that acquisition, they went and bought Topps for like a fraction of what they were offering to pay them because they didn't have that license anymore. So, like, it ended up fucking over Topps pretty bad. But, yeah, power moves, man, from Fanatics.
Yeah, so speaking of power moves, that's intense. Like that's a BDE right there, man.
Yeah.
But there's I was watching a video on EA and like the Sega Genesis and Trip Hawkins, who is like he was like the original founder of EA, and he also he also made the 3DO. So I think he was basically saying he had a similar power move where he like basically went to Sega and was like, hey, like the move. I think it was it was EA trying to make games for the Genesis, and they had some crazy restrictions. So basically EA thought that Sega was going to be like a lot more friendly than Nintendo as far as like licensing games, but they had these crazy restrictions about like production and things like that. So they tried to ask for like special treatment, and Sega was kind of just like, no. And they kept asking, and the Sega basically was like, you're going to have to like reverse engineer the Genesis, like as a joke, like if you want to do this. And they were like, oh, okay. And so then they actually did it. So they reverse engineered it. And then they went and were like showing people that they reverse engineered it. And before they actually went to like a trade show and like showed it off to the public, he went back to Sega and was like, okay, like, can we do it now? Like, can we have special treatment? And Sega basically was like, totally. Like you can do whatever you want. Like, so the whole video is actually about the EA cartridges used to have these yellow plastic like nubs on the side of them. And the whole reason they got to do that was because they got more control over the production of the cartridge. So the people in marketing thought like, oh, well, since we're able to and nobody else is able to, let's do something that makes the cartridges look unique. So it doesn't really do anything. Like it's not special, but it's just like something that none of the other cartridges literally would do because Sega wouldn't let them. But it was another one of those like fucking power moves where they were like, you're going to have to reverse engineer it. And EA was like, okay. And then they did it and they were like, okay, fine. You win.
And then they ended up getting what they wanted. Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Exactly. Like they literally strong armed themselves to like get what they wanted.
I mean, when you have the resources to it, I guess screw it, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. If you can reverse engineer, why not?
Yeah. Anyways, that kind of brings us up to speed with this week. Again, it's kind of a slower week, unfortunately. So not a ton to talk about, but obviously some exciting stuff, some exciting speculation, but also some games that are upcoming that we're pretty stoked about. So, thanks for if any of you have joined us, thanks for joining us. If you're listening to us,
we got one little discussion to have left.
Do we have another discussion to have left?
What the frig have you been playing, bud?
Oh yeah, bud. Hailer. I've been playing the Hailer, bud.
Just playing Hailer? Nothing else new?
What else have I played this week? I tried a couple of the Game Pass games. I went to my PlayStation 5, and I booted up something that I haven't played in a while. It wasn't Spider-Man this week.
What about it?
I played NHL a little bit this week. Man, this really honestly pisses me off because I was really excited to play NHL, and then
let's tell the story.
EA, get your fucking shit together. Anyways, we bought. Devyn, you bought.
Dude, I gotta tell you. Oh, I'll tell you when I'm playing or talking about mine. Hey, sorry, go ahead. Continue. My bad.
Well, you bought NHL 2022 with the intent of us playing it together, and then we jumped on, assuming, I guess, fucking foolishly, this is the second time this has happened to a game that we bought, that it would have cross-play or, like, cross-generation play, and because everybody else fucking has it. Why wouldn't NHL 22 not have it?
PS4 Pro.
Yeah, on PS4 Pro, and if you buy the PS4 version, you get the PS5 version. So by all indicators, this should have worked out. We're idiots. We didn't read into it further.
Oh, so if I get a PS5, I have the PS5 version of NHL?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh, sick titties. That's awesome.
I feel like we're starting to make the case for getting a PS5. Anyways,
it's just getting stronger.
So we're chatting. We're on mic. You're creating a character. I think I'm recreating my character. I'm going through and whatever, and then I go to send an invite, and it's like, yeah, you can't play with this generation of the game. And that was it. Our fucking bubble was burst, and we went really off. And yeah, I was upset, man. And then I kept playing, and I was like, this would have been so much fun. And we ended up winning. I think it was like 2 or 3 games that I played online, with just randoms, like just drop in, and it was so much fucking fun. One of them went overtime, and I was like, man, that was hectic. Wish we could have played that together. It didn't happen. So yeah, man. Moral of the story is get a fucking PS5, dude. I want to play. I just want to play games with you, man.
I'll get there. It's on my list.
Yeah, you'll get there soon. And then we can play Demon's Souls as well, and a bunch of other games that I'm excited to play with you.
Well,
that's it. That's what I've been playing. I don't know if there's anything else that you've been playing. I actually went through my last point here is I went through and deleted a bunch of games off my mobile devices that I know I'm never gonna play. So fuck you, mobile games that I never touched. I'm sorry I never played you, but I gotta free up some space on my phone. Sorry, Zynga.
They're good. They got enough money now.
So they're fucking loaded. Yeah.
I've been, other than also playing Halo. So okay, here's my story about EA and getting their shit together. So I bought a few games because there was like a sale recently. So I bought some Switch games. So I bought Disco Elysium, which I haven't started yet.
Great fucking game.
I bought, I thought, oh, this would look cool on the OLED, so I bought that. I bought the other one about Bulletstorm Duke Nukem Tour Edition.
Yeah, you played Bulletstorm. Yeah.
Which I played a decent amount of, and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. And okay, before I get into Duke Nukem, fuck EA. I fired up that game, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. This was after we had this situation, dude. You know what's the first screen that popped up? Would you like to enable cross-play? I'm like, you motherfuckers. Why is it in this game? Like, you know how to do it. Look at this. You have the like, you could do it on an older game, and they didn't. And I don't really know how crossplay works in that game, because I thought it was just like high scores and stuff. But because I have it on Switch, and I was like, oh, my friend has it on like Steam, and like my friend's got it on their consoles. Like, if I could play crossplay, like, that's really cool. But like, why can't I play NHL across 2 Sony consoles? Idiots. Anyways. So yeah, I bought Bulletstorm with the intent. So I recently was like kind of having a craving to play Duke Nukem 3D, and I did. I actually like got it on my computer and I played it a bit, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I still kind of like wanted to play more, and I saw it on sale on Switch, and I almost bought it. And then I saw Bulletstorm, and I was like, oh, that's also Duke Nukem. That's be kind of cool. And I don't know if you guys know about how this Bulletstorm DLC works with Duke Nukem, but it's essentially the exact same game. Like, when you play the story mode of Bulletstorm, it's the same, but Duke Nukem is the main character, and they don't change any of the voice lines of any of the other characters in the cutscenes. But Duke Nukem has his own new voice lines. So sometimes they call you, the other guy's name is Ash, so sometimes they'll call you Ash, and he's like, what? It's Duke. Like, he's like confused by it, and like he makes all these weird comments. It's so funny. Oh man. And like every so often he'll do like a classic Duke line, but I was like cracking up the whole time playing it, and I was like, I can't believe how much fun I'm having playing this fucking Duke Nukem game right now. But it was super silly, and I really enjoyed it for like fucking $10 or less, I think it was. It was like kind of a fun little surprise. And then the other thing I've been playing is I've been playing Pokemon on my little fucking Game Boy thing. I've been feeling Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, you've been playing the shit out of that thing, man.
Yeah, I've been playing Pokemon Gold a lot because I've been craving it a lot, and honestly, like that screen filter and that game, like something about the color palette in Pokemon Gold is just like super nostalgic to me, and like the way that it looks really authentic on that screen is like, I feel like I just like get transported into that thing. It sucks me right in. It's so much fun.
Sucks you like Kirby, buddy. Just sucks you right off.
Sucks me and blows me just like Kirby in the new Kirby game. I guarantee.
Breath of the Wild.
Dude, what if that's okay? This could be my prediction for Kirby. Left trigger, so right triggers suck. Left trigger blow.
Blow?
Yeah.
Love it.
I bet you that's what it's gonna be.
I hope there's a co-op mechanic where you get to suck and I get to blow. It'll be so much fun.
Okay. We never actually. Okay, before we wrap up, sorry. One last little quick thought on Kirby. One thing I am concerned about with that game and the co-op mode is Kirby has like always had a lot of co-op modes, but traditionally the second player gets kind of fucked out of having fun because Kirby's like the main character, so they get all the powers and you just get to be like one of the enemies, unless Kirby gives you a cool power. So I'm a little bit concerned that like being the Waddle Dee is going to be like second fiddle, and like it's not going to feel like a true like co-op experience. But hopefully not. Hopefully like he can get his own upgrades and he's like his own unique character, and he can like stand up with Kirby. But I have a feeling he's going to be playing second fiddle to him.
Yeah, a couple games. Kind of my one knock. I loved this game, but Chicory was kind of like that as well, where like you got to play as Chicory, or not as Chicory, you got to play as your character, but the second person really only got to like use the brush. So it's, I mean, there's kind of a way that you have to balance these things out, but yeah, like not having like a true like co-op where you have the same abilities or like different abilities with the same involvement or same engagement, it's always tough. So I hope the same thing. I hope it's as fun, or there's some way to be able to have, you know, a proportional amount of fun with the person that's playing as Kirby. But we'll find out. We don't have to wait that long, luckily.
Yeah. All right. I think that's everything I got for tonight.
All right, dude. Well, thank you everybody for, like I said, everybody that's listening to us on podcasts tomorrow. Thank you for listening. You can check us out again on the slice dot. Oh, why do I even like? That's not even a site. Twitch.tv.
Maybe
Twitch,
one day.
grabaslice.ca. That's where we're at. Twitch.tv / the slice TO every Thursday at 9:00. You can check us out on social media at the Slice TO, on Twitter as well, and then also all podcast platforms, which you might be listening to this right now. Thank you for anybody that joined the stream today. In and out, new first-time viewers. We had a first-time viewer today called the Bear Jew. Thank you, Bear Jew, for joining us.
I like we had a first-time viewer called the Bear, like the squid. That was good.
Yeah. So thanks, the Bear Jew for supporting us. Yeah, and that's it. I think that's the other. I think that's the first time viewer we got today. But subscribe to us on Twitch. We'll be here every Thursday. We'll have some guests. Hopefully, some guests soon. And then shortly, you can check us out right back here. We're going to be playing some Anacrusis, which is a game that I think we're both pretty excited to play.
Yeah, I'm really
stoked. And it'll be nice to kind of break up some of the Halo playing that we've been doing. Even though I'm fucking convinced that we're going to end up playing Halo at some point tonight, anyways. But check us out. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We're going to take a break here, but thank you again for joining us on the podcast. Devyn, anything else you want to add?
No, you guys take it easy. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Peace out, y'all. It's been a slice. We'll see you next week. Cool. I can cut the audio there.